I like national, to be honest. I like business-minded people. I like people that are like people I can look up to and get motivated from.
A Cadillac waiting at a taxi stand. My baby's gone, she got the blue baby cold. Telling me she was like a hero. Straight from the Mississippi blues.
We started the day in Kaikohe, a Northland town that was splashed across the news in March, when a group of 20 or so teenagers tried to break into a mobile petrol station. Just across the road from the station is a gym run by Tony Warren, who calls it a safe haven away from trouble.
We've got 5 different gangs running in this town, and we can't do a lot with the way the gangs want to think themselves, so that's their problem. But our job is to get the kids to try and change them and get them out of that life that they think is shit hot.
I guess it depends who you surround yourself with, but there are so many great people here in Kaikohe, and like we're in the gym now. I've met so many great people who come here and have goals, and they just train hard out, and you even have the youth that come in here, and I have heard of stories, but I mean every place has a story. It doesn't define what the place actually is.
We drove on to Whangarei, typically a safe national seat.
We were in Kaitaia yesterday and we spoke to a couple of guys at the skate park who seemed fairly enamoured with Shane Jones. They said he was the man to tackle crime in the north, he was the man to tackle drug addiction, youth issues. So we asked the former Labour MP, now running for New Zealand First candidate in Whangarei, if he'd have a chat with us, and he said yes. So in a few minutes we're about to meet Mr. Jones.
Whangarei's been marginalised, and when you get marginalisation, you get a shortage of resources for law and order. And once you have a shortage of resources for law and order, unfortunately, the villainous tapeworms take over. You get too much burglary and then drugs spread. So law and order is an issue, infrastructure, industry. But then people won't invest if they're not feeling secure.
Yeah, I mean, it's not hard to miss. I mean, you can walk down the road and see someone that's, whacked off their face. So it's not hard to miss. And I do think that a lot of that is happening today, and we could make a difference. But that's just a lot of family violence that leads to it. Yeah, the next best thing for them is to take drugs.
More food for homeless people, because they're everywhere. Like I see them all the time. I just work there, and they're always out and about, looking hungry.
There definitely is a lot of money still around here in Whangarei, but there's still a lot of families that are sort of bunking amongst each other. Homes are getting a bit crowded, especially in sort of the more Māori societies like Whangarei, Tikipunga. There's those pockets there. But when you're spreading out towards the coast more, there's a little bit more money out there. Yeah.
Young people need someone to speak for them, and the government needs to think more about giving them training and jobs and things like that. I know you've got the Polytech, but then you've got things like, how do you get down there? They're going to walk down to Polytech to study the course and that kind of thing. So it's really involved, and someone's got to really look into it and help them out.
I just enrolled yesterday.
And you think it's important to vote?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
I think people make such a big issue when their party doesn't get in it, but they haven't actually voted themselves. So I guess it's a good incentive to get them to vote if they want their party to come out on top.
Like being able to grow my own veggies and shit like that, my own garden, and like going out diving, like getting all of seafood for our families, instead of being restricted to limits.
I don't want my vote to go to the wrong person like it did last time. John Key wasn't really a good Prime Minister. I want someone there that cares about us.
I like national, to be honest. I like business-minded people. I like people that are like people I can look up to and get motivated from. And people tend to look at like these politicians as bad people, but then there are some that are actually cool to look up to just for who they are and how far they've gone in their career, and as a human being just like me.
I mean, the people down here reasonably decent. I mean, a few more smiles would make your day a little better, but I mean, can't ask for everything, eh?
We head to the Rodney electorate tomorrow in places like Warkworth, Orewa and Whangaparoa. These are towns that are close to Whangarei and Northland on a map, but in terms of deprivation, ethnicity, and I expect viewpoints, there's a big gulf.
She got a Cadillac waiting at a taxi stand. My baby's cause she got those blues, baby, cola. She's running on to her mama. She goes running on to her pop.